Let's take you to the arts now. Next of kin is an exhibition of paintings and drawings at the Thought Pyramid Art Center. It features works of art done by many young artists considered to be the ones to watch, and that will take the art world by storm if given the chance. Take a look.
It's the second edition of the annual juried art exhibition and competition called Next of Kin. These are the works of art that show what the future generation of artists are up to.
It's a juried art exhibition that is hosted annually for the upcoming Maths Masters. It's just a platform to showcase the new one, encouraging them to come up and all that.
Many of them earlier participated in an art competition which was organized by the Thought Pyramid Center in Lagos. And these images are the ones which struck a chord when the panel of judges were picking the final 10 from 100 entries.
My works are all part of a series that I titled Zebra Problem. It addresses the prevalence of child abuse, both sexual and non-sexual abuse. But I want to focus on sexual abuse because two of my works are actually on that particular topic. For some time now, we've had issues concerning this particular problem that we're having. We've had parents who gave out their teenage daughters out to older men. We've had little children who have been abused. So I've decided to use my work as a voice for these children who are not heard.
So, what are these young bloods bringing to the table? From trendy topics to human angle stories to religious affiliations, it's a no-holds-barred platform.
My works explore things like religion, politics, and, basically things that that affect people in Nigeria around me. My works are inspired also by, if I hear a conversation in the bus, if I hear people talk about something, I like to develop on these things and paint them, and here they are.
The Thought Pyramid Art Center wants the artists to be comfortable in their own skin, an essential tool if they want to take the art world by storm. It's said that the youth are the future, and these works speak volumes about the future, and the older generation can beat their chest that Nigeria will keep taking her pride of place in the art.
With 5 days to the FIFA Women's World Cup in France, the Super Falcons of Nigeria this evening wrapped up their test matches with a 3-0 victory against Slovenian women's champions Primera in Beltinci, Slovenia. Super Falcons forward Azizat Oshuala got a brace in the match in the 18th and 26th minute of the first half, while Uchen Nakanu completed the scoreline on the 91st minute of regulation time. The 9-time African champions will leave for France on Tuesday, where they will participate in the 8th FIFA Women's World Cup final starting on Friday, the 7th of June, while the team will kick off their campaign against Norway on the 8th of June. Liverpool's celebrations shifted to their home city this evening as tens of thousands of fans greeted the team who beat Tottenham to win the Champions League final in Madrid the night before. Supporters turned Liverpool into a sea of red as the open-top bus-carrying coach Jurgen Klopp and his victorious players urged through the city. Liverpool became champions of Europe for a 6th time when Mohamed Salah's second-minute penalty and Divock Origi's late strike secured a 2-0 win in the sweltering Metropolitano Stadium in Madrid. It was a first trophy of any sort in 7 years for the club and banished the memories of last year's bitter defeat to Real Madrid in the final in Kiev.
It has been through the course of the season. This isn't.
Anthony Joshua says his defeat against Andy Ruiz Jr. is a minor setback and vows to get his revenge if there is a rematch. Joshua's bid to make a splash in his US debut ended in misery with a stunning loss to Ruiz Jr., who came into the fight as a massive 32-1 underdog but won it by technical knockout in the middle of the 7th round when the referee stopped the bout after the 4th knockdown.
It's like a minor setback, I would say, if that's what we want to call it, a minor setback. But, you know, the locks on the doors don't change. We're still family, we still love the sport, still a champ. And then we bounce back and go and rectify it and get my hands on those belts again. It's an upset, isn't it? It's not expected. The bookie said I was a favourite. One shot on the top of the dome, you know, kind of rattled me a bit, and then tried to stay in there a few more rounds. But the better man won, respect to Andy, and I move forward now, seeing what's next with the boss man.
And Pope Francis has apologized to the Roma people on behalf of the Catholic Church during his visit to Romania. Roma people have faced persecution in Europe for centuries. Hundreds of thousands are thought to have been killed during the Holocaust. Nowadays, many of them live mainly in southern and central Europe and make up about 10% of Romania's total population. They complain they struggle to get work because of discrimination, and many live in poverty. When Pope Francis met with the Roma people, he asked for forgiveness, saying indifference breeds prejudices and fosters anger and resentment. China's Defense Minister Wei Fenghe has defended the crackdown on the 1989 Tiananmen Square protests, telling a regional forum that stopping the turbulence was the correct policy. Tuesday marks 30 years since 6 weeks of demonstrations ended with the Beijing massacre of June the 3rd and 4th. Students and workers had occupied Beijing's Tiananmen Square in a massive pro-democracy protest. Many were killed in the brutal clampdown by the communist authorities. Public discussions of the 1989 protests and their suppression are strictly taboo in China. But after a wide-ranging speech about trade and security at the forum in Singapore, General Fenghe was asked about Tiananmen by a member of the audience. And the main news again. President Muhammadu Buhari today returned to Abuja after attending the Organization of Islamic Cooperation Summit in Makkah, Saudi Arabia. Also today, the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority revoked the license of an airline pilot for operating flights after the expiration of his medical certificate. And you heard Pope Francis apologized to the Roma people on behalf of the Catholic Church for centuries of discrimination during his papal visit to Romania. And that's the news at 10 tonight. Many thanks for watching. I'm Millicent Walker. Have a good night.